This is the year I become a more mindful person about the kind of person that I want to be, not so much the specific things that I want to achieve. So this year in 2024, I choose to be mindful. I choose to be a mindful person. I've learned that life is short and it's also pretty darn unpredictable. I've learned that my very existence is an extremely precarious thing. And so, as long as I'm alive and kicking, I want to be aware. I want to move through the ordinary days with the kind of slowness that permits me to pay attention to things that would have otherwise passed me by. I also want to become fruitful because I've assessed my character and have acknowledged my gifts. And I know for a fact that just like you, I have something worthwhile to offer this world. I have something that only I can contribute. But growing up, I was taught to believe that any acknowledgement of talent or ability is also a declaration of pride and arrogance. Like we're not supposed to acknowledge when we realize that we have something good to offer. But what a load of crap. I'm not talented or gifted because I did anything to earn it. I was given these gifts. We've all been given our gifts and talents. So, in a weird and counterintuitive way, isn't it actually more narcissistic to hinder the growth and possibility under this false pretense of humility? You are talented. Just face it. Now, what do you want to do about it? What kind of a person do you want to be in light of this awareness? So, say we take the necessary moment to pause and decide what kinds of beings we want to be. Say we decide we want to be these mindful, fruitful beings. But we're so attached to our phones, you guys. It really is the biggest hindrance to progress that this generation has known. We are so hooked on instant gratification and shots of fake dopamine at the end of our fingertips, literally at all times throughout the day. But you see, I have arrived at a conclusion that a very sharp and strict decision must be made. Either I will submit to the culture of the times and as a result miss out on actually living my life, or I will take whatever measures are necessary for growth in the direction of my dreams, because I consciously want to grow. So I encourage you to turn off all devices, all screens at the end of this video and ask yourself the right question, or the right questions perhaps. Who do you want to become? And what is it that only you can offer? What are your values, And pick up an actual pen and an actual paper and journal your heart out, the good old way. It's not an easy how-to solution, I know, but it might be the only way by which we can be actual agile individuals living in an insane and unpredictable world. This unwavering and very firm conviction of the people we want to be, I feel like that's what can really anchor us. At the start of this year, I took an online workshop and a sentence was said that stopped me dead in my tracks. And the sentence was, everything that is worth doing slowly. And it's been ringing and ringing in my head, beckoning me to pause and ponder much more often. Because just look at the world around us. Look at how much beauty we allow to pass us by for the sake of lights on screens, on the devices in our hands. Every little thing we do throughout our day can be romanticized and permitted conscious space in our minds. Every meal we eat, every bite we savor in our mouths, every brush stroke on a page, completely disconnected from the online world, marveling at and being grateful for the process of delayed gratification, of waiting and imagining and staining a page for minutes, sometimes hours, before we can actually arrive at completion. What about the lyrical magic that unfolds also at the tip of our fingertips, just in a completely different way, when we make the conscious decision to pick up a book when there's a pause, rather than mindlessly reaching for our phones to scroll? Slowness is the secret. And contrary to what we might be made to believe, slowness is the key to progress, not the other way around. Slowness is the map to ultimate success. So my intention for 2024 is to become a more intentional, more mindful person, and to become a fruitful person as a result. Because life is just too short to waste. And it's also too beautiful to miss out on.